So you never need to feel the need to defend yourself. Emotionally, that is. Not physically. If somebody's attacking you, of course, defend yourself. But emotionally, if you receive an angry email or somebody's talking to you negatively, you don't need to feel the need to defend yourself. So I was in that position today. I received an attacking email. And when I received this email, it wasn't so much the person was attacking me, but that they copied other people that I thought would take it the wrong way. And that people pleaser thing, we'll talk about that another day. But anyway, so I responded in a not so nice tone, which I shouldn't have. And so while I was sitting there, I grabbed this happened to me next to me. I grabbed the book of Mental Toughness Mantras by Chris Dorris, and I pulled open the contents to look at the different mantras, and like, ugh. One of them that was so obvious was I relinquished the need to defend. And it's so true. If you read that chapter, I'm going to give you a little bit of it here. When you read that chapter, it's talking about how it doesn't matter what somebody says to you. One, you have the choice on how you react. And two, there is zero need to defend yourself. So when somebody comes at you, let's say verbally or in writing, as mine was today, I could have easily said, thank you very much for the information. I appreciate your insight on this. Let's talk more. Or something similar. But instead I said, well, this is what this happens and this is how this happens. And I literally like attacked back. And I've since cleaned that up since sending that email. However, it wasn't until after I read that mantra about I relinquish the need to defend that I did that. And it's catching yourself. So we're going to make mistakes. We're human beings. Welcome to planet Earth. However, it's catching yourself when that instance happens and making that change and turning it around that makes all the difference in the world. And then we learn from that so that the next time when we receive something that's not so nice, that we respond differently. So think about it. Think about all the times that you've had a negative comment on your social and you've responded negatively back, or you've had a negative email and you responded negatively back, or you've had a negative conversation with somebody and you responded negatively back. How else could you have handled that? I know how I could have handled this differently today. I know. And I'm going to focus on that moving forward. But ask yourself, how many times have you been in that position where you've responded negatively and you're like, screw that person, hit send, and just let it happen? Or did you take that extra few seconds, 10, 5, 10, 20, 30, and go, you know what? Let me think about how I'm going to respond here. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to fall into the trap, and I want to respond in a positive way or in a way that reflects who I really am. I didn't do that today. I'll wholeheartedly admit that. However, I recognize that, and I will change that for the future. So what about you? How many times have you fallen into that and you're like, and then instead of saying, hey, I recognize that, I'm going to change that in the future, you're like, screw that person. You get what you deserve. What does that do for you? Anything? You already know the answer. I'm going to tell you it's no. So think about that. Think about when you feel offended, how you respond. Because that helps make who you are. And today I lost a little bit of myself, which I'll get back, by the way, because I'm going to change that. But when you respond that way, you respond in a negative way, you lose a piece of yourself, who you're supposed to be, who you're going to be, who you're being. And if your being is about being a positive person and being somebody who believes in the spirituality, believes in yourself, believes in your family, believes in your friends, believes in your business or career, that's the wrong response. So think about how you respond next time. So next time you receive some sort of angry message and you just want to go, ooh, take a step back, take a deep breath, and think about how you respond. You know what? I'm not going to fall into the trap. I'm going to respond in a positive way. Think about that. That's what I got for you today. Think about how you respond when you get those messages, whether it's on social, whether it's email, whether it's messenger, whatever it is. Think about how you respond. Take a deep breath. Take a few extra seconds to think about what you're going to respond. Read what you've typed out before you send it, and then revise it if you need to. Make it a great day, everybody. And always remember, never forget to be schmaltzy. Take care, my friends. Awesome.